Welcome to another episode of Feed the Faith Outdoors Podcast, your weekly podcast featuring topics from hunting all the way to hallelujah. Here's your host, Eric Lowry, aka Carson Kills.
All right, guys, here we are with another episode of Feed the Faith Outdoors Podcast. This is going to be episode 2. It is November 16th. We had a killer weekend here in East Tennessee. Had a bunch of friends kill some nice deer. The rut is really starting to pick up. For all of us deer hunters, this time is when all the hard work pays off. This is when all the cool stuff happens. This is the time that you want to be in the woods, because this is where them big bucks are running, chasing those does. All the action's taking place right now. So if you're a deer hunter and you haven't been able to be out in the woods yet, you better get your butt out there, because it's on. Before we get started today, I want to share with you guys a Bible verse, and this is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, King James Version. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." So, I think this Bible verse is pretty good because, when you're going through things in life, you may not always see the bigger picture that God sees, that He knows the plan. I mean, it's just like deer hunting. You may not see the deer in the thicket. You may not know that he's down in that draw. You may not know that he's down in that creek bottom, but you have faith. You think that he is. You've put enough trail camera pictures together. You've studied the deer enough. You know where he hangs out. You know what he likes. You have faith that he's down in there. You have faith that you're going in there on a good wind. You have faith, even though you don't see it. And it's just like in life. We don't know the outcome of a lot of things, but you just got to have faith. Trust in the Lord. Keep pursuing Him. Just putting Him first in everything you do, and all things will work out the way they are supposed to. So that's a little Bible verse this morning. Hope it helps you guys throughout your day. And let's get started talking about some deer hunting. The first thing I want to talk about today is jealousy. Ooh, you heard it. Jealousy. Man, let me tell you, I've already seen it on Facebook this year. You know what really, really aggravates me? That hunters cannot enjoy other hunters' success. I don't understand how when somebody that is either local or somebody that you know, or I don't know, even a friend, they kill a big deer and you have this attitude, mad that they killed a big deer and you didn't. I mean, I just don't understand. I've already seen it on Facebook, and I don't know. It's if you want to see jealousy, if you want to see who your friends are and who your friends aren't, go ahead and kill you a decent buck and see what happens. And I had people say these things, and I've heard people say these things until I really experienced them. But I kill a good deer, and then everybody comes out of the woodwork, either A, wanting to hunt, B, wanting to ask you questions, or move in beside you on your spot, find out where you're hunting at, say that, oh, your buck ain't that big, oh, just all the bashing, man, all the jealousy. I mean, that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you are jealous of someone else's success, that's a problem. If you can't support one another, if you can't be happy for someone else, you're a selfish person. There's so many big bucks out there. There's not a lot here in East Tennessee, but that doesn't mean that you have to bash somebody or get mad or get jealous over somebody because they killed a bigger buck. There's plenty of deer to go around. Just support one another, man. It's not that hard. I had a buddy of mine kill a giant one year out of a stand that we had hung, and I basically had been door knocking, getting permission all summer long, and he killed a freaking giant out of that stand. And dude, I was so happy for him. Like, I was literally so happy. He called me and I said, dude, all right, I'm gonna finish this hunt and then I'll be over there. Do not get down until I get over. Well, I'm sitting there hunting. I guess about 10 or 15 minutes pass, and I couldn't wait no more. Like, I literally had to call him, and I said, dude, I'm not sitting here finishing this hunt. I'm coming over there. Let's go get that deer. I'm too pumped up. I can't wait. I want to see it. So, walked over there to him, and we got down and went and got that buck. And it was a good East Tennessee buck, and I was genuinely happy for him. Like, I was so glad that he was able to kill that deer, even though, like, it was one that I'd wanted to, obviously, but I was genuinely happy for him because he got his biggest buck to date. And man, it was just a super awesome feeling for both of us. And 9 days later, I killed my biggest buck to date out of the same dang tree stand. Like, come on, dude. If you'll just be supportive and positive and genuinely be happy for someone else's success. I mean, this isn't just deer hunting, in life in general, but in this story, be happy for someone's success, because I truly believe that it'll pay off for you. It happened for me. So I don't know, man. I've been down both roads. There was at one point in my life where I was jealous and where I was envious, and I'd got mad when people killed a big one and I hadn't. And that was back before I was a Christian, and before I got saved and actually lived for Christ. I always claimed to be a Christian, but I don't think my fruit necessarily showed that I was. Anyways, got saved, and genuinely was happy for the guy, and ended up getting me one too. So the moral of the story is, dude, stop being jealous, stop bashing people. Like, no one cares if you're the big buck killer of East Tennessee. Like, no one really cares. Like, we're all just trying to have a good time. We're all trying to hunt, put meat in the freezer, enjoy some friends out there in the woods, some camp type stuff. Sorry, tongue twisted. It's a little early this morning, but just don't be jealous, man. Genuinely support one another. Like, help each other out. That's the thing. If we all just become jealous and greedy and selfish, then like everybody's gonna be miserable. If we just help each other out, it's all gonna be all right. So, with that being said, ran over. I just had to go over it because I seen it on Facebook already this year. Quit being jealous. It's not a big deal. People kill deer all the time. Just enjoy it. It's deer hunting. Oh well, move on to the next one. Anyways, so the real thing that I wanted to talk about today is finding new places to hunt. I don't know if you guys are like I am or if you're different, but I am constantly trying to find new places to hunt. I can guarantee you I call at least 20 people a week. No lie. Some days I'll go 30, 40, 50 different people, calling them, trying to get new places to hunt, because like I've got several decent places to hunt, but that's not to say that a landowner could decide to sell it tomorrow or pass away or just kick me off. You never know. So you always got to be prepared. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. And who knows, you may get a spot and it turns into being your honey hole. So with that being said, finding new places to hunt. and I'm gonna kind of go through this and tell you guys how I do it, what I do, and I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head here, so I hope it works out. But I have taken a couple notes, and finding new places to hunt. First thing I do is start local. I start asking my friends, start asking my family, start asking coworkers, just striking up a conversation, talking about deer meat, deer jerky. I seen a deer on the way to work this morning. Just basically, I just try to find a way to bring up deer hunting in a conversation to anybody. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm at the grocery store, if I'm getting my hair cut, if I'm out there in downtown Rogersville paying the darn water bill, I'm still trying to find a place to deer hunt. So start local. Ask your family, ask your friends, ask your coworkers. Ask them if they know somebody or if they have some land, whatnot. See if you can't find you a place to hunt. And, really before you go and talk to these people, you need to know what you're going to say. Like, I think too many people are just straight blunt about it. They just walk up and they're like, "Hey, can I deer hunt?" No. I mean, what's the odds? They don't know anything about you. Depending on how you present yourself, they may already have an opinion formed about you. And the unfortunate part is a lot of people just don't like animals being killed. Even though, I eat everything that I kill and I won't kill it unless I eat it. Some people just don't like the thought of it, which just blows my mind, really. I don't understand how someone can not want or not allow someone to hunt and harvest animals in their natural free state. They would rather buy chicken and beef from a store. Like, I don't want to go down this road. It's too, it gets me too fired up, really, at the ignorance in it, I guess. I mean, it just, and I say ignorance not being mean. I say ignorance as in they don't know. Maybe they don't understand. And that's us as hunters. That's our job, is to better explain. They may think that we're just going in there chasing deer down with a bunch of rabid dogs and pinning them in a corner and tearing them apart. Like, they probably have an image of Bambi in their head and that hunting scene that goes on in there, so explain to them. And I found out that lots of times I can get a place to bow hunt before I can get it to rifle hunt. Or, I've also noticed that I can get a place to coyote hunt. And then maybe that turns into turkey hunting. And then maybe that turns into deer hunting. So pretty much just try to get your foot in the door at any way possible. And the truth is, like, you can offer, if you don't have money, which a lot of us, we don't. I have one lease, and that's the only lease that I pay for. Other than that, the rest of it's just permission or public. So if you've got a little money that you can pay, set you a budget and figure out what you can spend on trying to get a few places to hunt. And, if your budget's $400, maybe you take that $400 and try to put it all into one place. Maybe you divvy it up and, say somebody's got a few acres here and a few acres there. You pay them each $200 a year to hunt. Help pay for their land taxes. I mean, you can't just expect people to let you go and hunt on their land really without anything in return. I mean, very rarely does that ever happen. Lots of times I'll just offer them deer meat. Hey, do you eat deer meat? If so, I mean, I don't care to bring you a bunch of deer meat. I've actually got some in the freezer I can go ahead and bring you from a deer that I killed earlier in the season. So it's all about barter, trade. Sometimes you got to pay them, and sometimes they'll just let you go hunt. But the thing is, a lot of these people, they've had people come and ask them before. And most of those guys, like I mentioned earlier, they just come up, hey, would you care if I deer hunt? No. Every person that comes in and does that, nah, I don't think so. They may be nice about it or whatnot. But what if you go in there and you say, hey, listen, I need a good place to deer hunt. I'm willing to work for you. I'll fix your fences. I'll mow your yard. I'll pull weeds in your weed bed. Like, it doesn't matter what you have to offer. Try. You don't know if you ain't calling. You don't know if you ain't door knocking. And that's another tactic in itself. There's apps you can download. Like, I use HuntWise, and I'll call a lot of people using HuntWise, and sometimes the numbers ain't on there, and I'll actually go and door knock and present myself. Let these people see who I am and show them that I am, a real person, not some kind of scam just calling you over the phone. I'm here, and, these are my intentions, and this is what I would like to, do for you. If there's anything else I can do for you, I would just, like to trade it for some deer hunting land. So that's a few things you can do there. So I guess all these things that I've been talking about are kind of for newer. It's for people that hunt too and really just want to find new land, but it's also for like new people that are getting into the outdoors. If you don't have a place to hunt, first and foremost, you can go to public land, and there's great opportunities on public land. So I don't care what anybody says. They're going to tell you it's overpressured. There's too many hunters. It's too hard. Yeah, it is hard. It is harder, I think, in a different sense. Each private land and public land are both very challenging in different ways. So you can't sit there and say one's harder than the other, or one's better than the other. They're both good, and they're both challenging in their own unique ways. So if you're like new to hunting, you can go to public land and you can kill some deer. It's just going to be a little more challenging in certain aspects. And if you're new to hunting and you're wanting to find some private land to hunt, like I mentioned earlier, start local, start with your friends, your families, and your co-workers. Ask them. If that doesn't work out, you're going to have to start door knocking, or you're going to have to start phone calling. And that's where this lovely app, HuntWise, comes into play. I'm not sponsored by anybody, let alone HuntWise, but there's other map systems out there like Onyx, Spartan Forage, Hunt Stand. I'm sure I'm missing a few here and there, but there's a lot of different apps out there that you can see property boundaries, public land, private land. But I use HuntWise. That's just kind of one that I've found to be easy for me to use, and I'm able to get the numbers off of there easily. Sometimes they don't have phone numbers, and that's just part of it. Then you're going to go door knock. But really what I like to do is get out early morning. Even if it's before work, I'll leave 30 minutes early, and I'll take certain paths to work, or bust down a back road and see if the deer's out. That's one of my favorite things to do, man. Just busting down a back road, seeing if the deer are out early morning, late afternoon. And if I see some good deer on a consistent basis, then I'm going to start looking on HuntWise, and I'm going to start calling people. Like, I think a lot of people are too afraid to be told no. You guys realize just in the past year, I've asked well over 500 people, and maybe had 2 or 3 tell me yes. You're gonna get told like way more times no than you are yes. And most times, more times than not, people are pretty polite and nice about it. Occasionally you'll get person hang up on you or slam the door in your face, but it's no big deal, dude. You just gotta smile, keep going, keep plugging along, stay positive. Don't get jealous, don't get envious, quit watching what everybody else is doing and keep grinding. I can guarantee you, if you spend 5 minutes a week calling 10 different people, I promise you by next deer season you'll have 2 or 3 spots to hunt. And here's another thing too that you want to keep in mind. When you're calling these people, it's not necessarily the biggest tracts of land that you want to go for, because those guys have had hundreds of people ask them already, and chances are they may already have somebody hunt it. What I like to focus on is the little hidden tracts around, beside, all those properties that butt up to that big crop field, or those properties that butt up to that big green field where you've been seeing a bunch of deer. Like the second biggest East Tennessee deer that I killed, it was a 12-pointer, 144 inches. I killed it on a 4-acre lot, and I got that place by door knocking, and killed the biggest buck of my life. My buddy killed the biggest buck of his life. I used to work at T-Dot, and I would get off work at T-Dot, and you can ask my wife. I'd come home and get her and the kids, and we'd ride around. We'd ride around for an hour or two, like several times a week, looking at deer and asking permission. She has spent hours upon hours in the car waiting on me to go and knock on doors and talk to people. And you can ask her. I'm all the time looking on the maps. I'm all the time searching for new places to hunt, because like I said, you don't know when you're going to lose that spot that you love so dearly. You got to have backup plans. You got to have other places to go. So if you're a new hunter, or if you're advanced hunter and you just want to find some new places to hunt, HuntWise is a great tool to do that. Or any other mapping service, whichever one you prefer. So with that being said, I feel like I've kind of covered that pretty much as I need to. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse in a way, but I just wanted to talk about getting new permission. I'm trying to brainstorm right now and see if there's anything else that I can think of, but I don't believe so. Don't overlook the small parcels. Have a game plan. Know what you're going to say before you go in there. And have something to offer. Have a way to relate to them. And ultimately, quantity. The number of people you ask, the better off you're going to be. I'll take the odds. If I ask 500 people, and I have, even just a 1% conversion rate, I'm going to get 5 people out of that. Yeah, let's go. I'll ask 500 people. If I get 5 new spots to hunt, it's all worth it. If I get 1 spot to hunt, it's all worth it. And really, you meet new people and do all this and that for them, and you build relationships, and, you get to deer hunt on their land, and they watch your children grow up and watch your children deer hunt. It's cool. You can really start some long lasting relationships by doing this, and you can meet some new people. So just be careful. I'm not an expert at any of this, and I'm not by any means advising you to walk up on somebody's doorstep, but I'm just telling you what I do. I go around and I knock on doors and I ask permission and I call people, and I'm really not afraid to talk to them, because at the end of the day, all they can do is say no. They might cuss me out and throw a shoe at me as I'm heading out their door. That's never happened, by the way, but they may do that one day, and I'm just going to go over to the neighbor's house and ask them. It's not a big deal. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful deer season. I hope you guys have some awesome places to hunt. If you don't, I hope that this episode maybe can help you, learn something new about finding new places to hunt. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I just know that I have had a lot of success knocking on doors. I've had a lot of success calling people, and doing those things have helped me kill good-sized deer. They've helped me see more deer. It's helped me learn more things about the outdoors because I'm seeing it in different places. And last thing here, don't limit yourself to your only area. Like, I was born and raised in Greene County, Tennessee, but I have places to hunt all over East Tennessee. So don't confine yourself to the county that you live in. Okay, if you know somebody and they've got a cousin down in Knoxville that's got 20 acres that you could probably hunt, by all means go down there and check it out. Like, at least if you just throw a camera up, if there's deer showing up and your goal is to kill deer, so what if you have to leave a little bit early one morning and drive down to Knoxville to go deer hunting? Like, if you want it, you go and get it. So don't overlook any options. Exploit all options. You never know if, there could be a darn 150-inch 8-pointer down there in Knoxville at your buddy's land that he told you could come down there and hunt 2 years ago, but you've been too lazy to go down there. Take your butt on down there and find him. All right, guys, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about in this episode. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm your host, Carson Kills, back with another episode of Feed the Faith Outdoors. A little hunting and a little hallelujah.